Rafter P Construction is the design-build contractor for all of your construction needs. Quality and customer satisfaction will always remain our top priority. The American dream has inspired the Rafter P team to push to be community leaders and support the local youth because that is our future. Let's now talk with the founder and owner, Brad Pryor.
Hey guys, we're here today with Miss Nikki. We're sitting in our design room in Greenville, Texas. So we're going to talk about the design trends that are currently you're seeing in the market, and most of it starts in this room, especially when we start getting really serious about going through our design packets and all that stuff. It's all done here, and typically we start off with our layouts, you know, the floor plan, and then we go into the exterior and then interior. So we're going to talk about those three line items, and I'll let you elaborate on all of them. But what do you see on the layouts that's real common?
Right now what I'm seeing that's super common is going to be more your open floor plan. So your master bedroom split from the other bedrooms, big open living, kitchen, dining area, all one room. Big porches. Some people want to do garages, some people aren't even doing garages. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Lately I have been seeing a lot of 2-stories as well. Maybe just including a loft or including, you know, a couple of bedrooms up there or a theater room or whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with layouts as far as the trends of that.
I got you. So when you're in the design room here and we're thinking, at that point you're more thinking of, you're laying out the size of rooms. You're laying out, okay, if you've lived in this, we're talking through what did that look, you know, what was your bedroom size and what size is your bed itself? What kind of furniture you're going to put in there? Same thing when you go in the open room or the great room that's combined with a kitchen. Like you're going to have a kitchen table. A lot of people, to me, are going away from kitchen tables. Yep. They're eating at a bar or couch, you know, whatever.
Wherever
depends on what your lifestyle is and how many kids you got, you know. So that's just where we start leading into that. And then when you get into the kids' room or offices or whatever, the same thing. You're like, okay, we need bunk beds. We're going to do. You're gonna have a big executive desk, or you're gonna have you know, just a little desk off to the side, mostly just more open space in your office. There's all those things.
I can't tell you how many times I've worked with customers that have literally given me dimensions of their furniture so that I can lay the floor plan out to better help them get an idea for the space that they're gonna be in.
Right. And the same thing too, I think to me, I think the two most concentrated areas is the kitchen and the master bath.
100%.
Right. And so to me, what would be your best suggestion to people when they're coming in? If focusing or saying that, they probably even thought that that's what they'd focus on until they get here, and then they start focusing on it. So I would say, or what would you say, that prep yourself for your first meeting, look at some things or think about things in those areas, because those are the price drivers.
They are. I would definitely say kind of think about the kitchen, think about your master bath like you had said, like exactly how you kind of want it to lay out or what you want in there. And then another one that I've been seeing that a lot of people actually care about is going to be your laundry room. Some people are wanting, you know, the full mudroom experience, countertops, cabinets. Some people are doing dog washes.
That's a big one.
It's a real big one. So I would definitely kind of think about exactly what you want in these areas before you come, because when you don't really know and it's kind of like, I don't know, just show me what you've got, it's harder to kind of understand what you want throughout your home. It makes it a little bit harder when you don't know exactly how you want your home to function. So it helps me in my job to kind of steer you in the direction where you're going to like the way the function.
Because you know, when you're laying it out, the flow, you know, we were just talking about a floor plan. It's like, you know, but we are a custom builder. We kind of got to do what people want. So, but we're always looking for flow.
Yes.
You know, and that's a big thing we're doing, laying out. You know, and once we get that mastered and figured out where everybody's happy with it, and then we start talking exterior finishes and looks, because you either have the person that don't really care in the barndo world, or you have the person that wants it to not look like a barndo.
Oh, absolutely.
So you have to make your mind up before you step foot in this office, which way you want to go, because that does affect the price.
Absolutely. And the more simple the build, obviously, the more cost effective it's going to be. But when you try kind of turning a barndo into a conventional exterior look, I would say you're driving the price up because it's a lot harder to cut that metal. It's a lot harder to kind of do that stuff with a metal building. So when these people come in and they want dormers everywhere, they want cut up roofs and whatnot, we need to know that up front for pricing and making sure that we are getting the current market pricing.
Right. And I think a lot of people, especially for stuff that we're building right now, a lot of gable extensions. And gable extensions, the people that don't know, is more or less the gable coming out of the side of the side wall of the house. It just breaks the house up. It's not as big a triangle or rectangle.
It doesn't look like a box. It looks more kind of homey and.
That is the most effective way, dollars and cents, to break them up.
Yeah.
I haven't built a hip roofed barndo in a long time on the main structure, and we do it obviously on some of the porches and stuff, wraparound porches. But I think that's the thing. Color doesn't really matter to us. We've discussed or have discussed in some of our other videos. You can put pretty much whatever color on there.
Yeah.
Take away the mindset of it's going to get hotter or whatever, perform different. That's a myth.
It is definitely a myth because I get that question all the time. What is that darker color going to do to my barndo?
Right.
Nothing.
And they, another thing I think, it's good to cover too is we only do black fiberglass windows or aluminum, what have you, no vinyl.
We don't do vinyl. No.
We can get a black vinyl window all day long and quick,
can.
but we just don't do that.
And I would say the reason being for that is because with a black vinyl window, if you scratch it, it's going to scratch white. Those black fiberglass windows, if you scratch it, it's going to scratch black. They're going to last longer, and they're just more reliable as far as the color.
Right.
Yes, they do have a longer lead time, but we want to make sure that there's quality out there, not just throwing up windows.
Yeah, because they don't understand the fiberglass or composite window, it's impregnated the color itself when it's being made. So it's not a coating, so to speak, and it'll hold up against the UV. It won't warp, So I think it helps a lot. But what is expected though, as they're thinking through the exteriors, what is expected from a white window to a black window? Just say black on the front, white inside. What is the cost difference?
You're looking at about double in cost.
Your window package.
Just because, like I said, we're going to go with fiberglass, and fiberglass is going to be your more expensive option.
Say a 2,000 square foot house. Basically, what do you think a window package would be on regular windows?
Regular windows, you're probably looking at 7,000-8,000. So black windows, you're looking at 16.
Right. So that's why I like to talk about this stuff, because there's less stuff you got to deal with later. You're like, man, we've been looking at this house, we love it. You know what I mean? And then they come in there and it's, most of the time there's a lot of black windows. But that's conversations they can start arguing over a couple and get out of the way right soon if that's the house, the design they really like.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it is that design and that feel of a house.
I would say right now, the biggest trend that I'm seeing on the exterior is going to be your whites and blacks. White walls, black roof, black trim, and then your black windows. That's what
6 of them going on now.
Yeah, literally.
Buildings are going on.
Most of the houses that we're doing right now are whites and blacks.
Yeah.
If people don't want to go the fiberglass route with the windows, what they've been doing is they're doing white windows with the black trim around it.
Right.
Just to kind of make that area pop a little bit more, but not kind of pay the price for those fiberglass windows. So there's ways around it to still get that trend, but not pay for it.
Right. Any other exterior things that are just different than you saw a year ago?
Not necessarily. I do have a lot of people that, talk about doing all black barndos and whatnot, but I've never gotten that one customer to do it. That is one of my dreams, to do an all black one with cedar accents. One thing I have been seeing is cedar accents a lot. People want to add that kind of rustic feel to the outside, and you can do that with basically any color that we offer, and it still looks really great.
Right. Not to discourage somebody coming here and wanting to build a black barn dominion, but get ready to pay when you do, because that is the hardest building in the world to sheet. Because you scratch, it shows every little scratch, every little blemish, so it's not just touching up, it's replacing sheets and replacing, everything. So when something's messed up on it, once you go through the install part of it.
Yes.
So it is quite complicated, but we have done some buildings that are all black, just not a barn itself.
I know we're working on a shop right now that's all black that is going to be pretty cool. So.
Yeah. Cool. So leading from exteriors, now we're talking about the interior. We talked about, you know, when you're walking your mudroom, something I was thinking through when you were talking about that, but I don't want to mention till this part of it was, you know, the dog baths. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're walking that laundry room, you can put lockers in there, you can put dog baths, you can put big mop sinks, your washer and dryer obviously, but there's a lot of people now that are really trying to organize all this stuff and put it in that room and utilize that room for a lot of different things. So I think a lot of things to think through is, number one, size of the dog.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't think about that, but some of them are Great Danes or whatever.
And you do like a small little dog wash, it's not going to work out.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You know, in their mind, they're thinking, oh, this little 2 foot dog. Like, no, dude, that dude's not going to fit in there.
No, he's literally going to be sitting and you can't move him or...
You're pretty much washing a human.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what else are you seeing, or when you're walking the laundry room, what are you seeing lately that's unique?
I would say the mud benches are definitely unique. A lot of people are wanting to put those in there. As far as the mudroom, they're kind of trying to make it feel more welcoming, not so boring. So a lot of people are going bold with their mudrooms. I would say different colors, different pattern tiles. I mean, all that type of stuff is really what I've been seeing with customers. Just to make it not be so boring to do your laundry or, you know,
and
stuff like that.
I don't think people understand this part of a barndo too, though. The front door, it's hardly ever used on a barn menu.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, seriously, like, even our showroom in Decatur,
No one.
I don't even think I've walked through that front door since it's been built, maybe 4 times.
Yeah.
I'll walk through the laundry room, you know, because there's a carport attached, or there's a shop, or whatever, and you pull in the, you know, the shop or the garage, you know, or the carport, and you walk through that side of them.
Yeah.
So that's why people are spending the time on the mudrooms.
Yeah.
Because that is more or less their guests are being, you know, it's their foyer, more or less, but it's got the washer and dryer.
You got to make sure that it looks good and it's
Right.
presentable rather than it just kind of be a blah
Right.
room.
Right. So a lot of those mud rooms are tying into the kitchen, which leads to another topic of what is. I haven't paid much attention to. I have seen some things when I've been walking a house that are new, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know they're doing this. And it's kind of bad that the owner doesn't know, but I kind of leave a lot of that up to you, the customer. But what is something new that people might want to think about that you're putting in kitchens, or people are bringing to you that you didn't? That's new ideas.
Yeah, so a lot of the time I'm seeing, you know, some people are doing minimalistic stuff, you know, your whites, your grays, your blacks. But a lot of the stuff that I'm designing right now, I would say your perimeter cabinets are one color and your island is kind of a pop-out different color. Another thing is people don't want their Vinahood to kind of be showcased. They're more kind of putting, I would say, cabinet surrounds around it.
Yeah,
to kind
I've noticed that.
Pop it a little bit. Some people do that a completely different color than their actual cabinets to kind of make it stand out, but not be a Vinahood stand out, if that makes sense.
Letting the cabinet do some work. I got you.
And
Yeah, I've
then,
seen that lately.
a lot of people are doing, you know, if they do that Vinahood cabinet, then they're matching that with their island. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of islands being a different color, which I love it. I think it's great. And then some people are doing different colors uppers and different colored lowers. So it's kind of all over the place.
What are you seeing inside the cabinets? Anything like pull-outs that are different?
Very specialty cabinets.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of stuff lately. I'm like, that is, you know, bad thing about being a builder. My house is 12 years old. I'm like, man, my house is like ancient, old. You know, and I don't say nothing around anybody. Like, I won't remodel it because it's fine. But what are those things?
I would say trash can pullouts are always going to be your biggest one. Canister rack pullouts, I've been doing a lot of those. The baking sheet dividers, that's a big one. But we have done something called a mixer lift, which you open the cabinet and then you just lift it up and your mixer is already there. One house that I just did, we did spice racks, where on either side of the vent hood, it's small, basically cabinets that roll out, and it's all of your spices on one side. People are getting really creative. They're going on Pinterest, they're finding stuff and making sure that this is something that they feature in their kitchen. It's more making it more functional rather than just having doors and drawers.
Right. I think Spice is pretty cool because I got a Lazy Susan, which I don't even think we even put those anywhere else no more. But you can have a Lazy Susan in there, which if anybody doesn't know, that's like a corner upper or lower that's got a deal that's around and you can get your stuff. But you still got spices all around it and stuff you can't get to. You got to pull it all out to get those. So these spice racks have opened a whole new world to organization.
And what people are kind of doing to not do the lazy Susan is they're doing corner drawers. So it still utilizes that corner space, but there's 3 drawers that just pull out, and so you have that whole ability to use that and make it functionable.
Right. What about any kind of surface finishes, like butcher block or anything?
I've been seeing a lot of butcher block. I've been seeing a lot of quartz. Quartz is, more people want to go that pure white, the whites, the Mysterio, all that. So quartz is a big one that I'm seeing. Another kind of fad that I'm really into is your black countertops. More of your leathered black countertops though. They want that to kind of be an eye catcher. Same with butcher block and whatnot. But a lot of people are doing a different color island top, and perimeter being another color. So that's kind of what I've been seeing.
Gotcha. So is gold coming back in?
I think so.
I've seen a lot of it, and it's got different. I mean, you got different finishes of the golds, but I'm starting to see like we're going back to the 70s now or 80s. Is you start to see some gold doorknobs and gold hardware. And, I think it's kind of working its way back in.
It is. I'm actually designing a house right now where all their hardware is that gold kind of champagne gold color.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it is coming back a little bit.
Gotcha. So let's wrap it up with the master. I know we talk open space all day long. It's pretty simple, easy to talk about. But masters, like the master closets and master baths.
Master closets, they're getting bigger and bigger every time I design a house. I feel like most people are trying to put islands in there so they don't have any furniture in their actual master bedroom. They're making these spaces a lot more functional rather than having dressers or anything like that.
Which I think is very clean.
Absolutely.
Slick. I mean, they're putting one of us in an island in the center of their master closet, right?
Yes. So an island where they put, drawers, doors, stuff like that to store everything. A lot of shoe shelves just to kind of give it a little bit more space in there. And then as far as the master bath, right now I've been seeing a lot of people getting rid of their tubs and just doing massive walk-in showers.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. And there are a couple of people here and there that still do, your standalone tubs. But a lot of my customers are just going straight to showers.
Gotcha. And this is what, since we've been designing houses for this long, I will say I have a new respect for men as far as they sometimes want more space than the women.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And we've designed closets that are bigger than the females, just for not even men that have suits and ties. This is men that just have a lot of hunting clothes and a lot of whatever.
It's insane how opinionated a male is when you go through that design meeting that you would have never guessed.
Right.
They are definitely making sure that their word gets out and that this is what they want. So I really kind of appreciate that when a male comes in and doesn't let the wife just kind of choose everything for him. I think it gives it a little bit of a good
mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you're working on one right now. It's you're putting a safe room.
Mm-hmm.
Is the master closet?
It is a part of the master closet, so it's a little bit. It's basically next to it, but yes, we are doing a lot of safe rooms. And this one in particular is going to be a concrete cinder block safe room.
And we can put on, like when you walk in that, it actually looks like a vault.
Mm-hmm.
The actual door itself, like a safe.
Yeah, so we are gonna do basically if you see like a standalone safe, that door that's on it, it's gonna have that little crank wheel, and it's gonna match all of the interior finishes of their home.
Gotcha. Are anybody putting safes in the closets? Like you building space for like a safe?
Some people are leaving some space in the closets for safes. I haven't had a lot of people, but there are some.
I know it's kind of an older deal. Back 10 years ago, people used to a lot. I hadn't seen much of it, but what about the bath area? Like we call it water closets. More or less, it's a toilet with
with a door
privacy.
on it.
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Very standard. Most people, I would say 85% of my customers want that.
Pretty much what used to be the tub is now a water closet.
Yeah.
And then a good sized shower.
Mm-hmm.
Is a powder table such a thing anymore? Like at a vanity?
Like a vanity area. I'd say it's about 50-50. There are some women that do want that, but it's not in all of my homes. I would say in the past 10 designs that I've done, I would say about 5 of them have that vanity section.
I gotcha. I don't know if that's how big a deal it was anymore. So when we're looking at a house, I know it's probably a question that people say up front, and in a broad in closing, they ask, well, we want 3-foot doors and everything. And that's an automatic standard for us, unless it's a little coat closet or something you're not physically going to go into. And I would fair say that is one of the most common start off questions, because most time people are building this, they're building it one time and they're not going to sell it. And that's our customer 75% of the time.
Absolutely.
I don't know very many barn dominions I've built that have been sold since I've been in business. So there's a few every once in a while for different reasons, but I would say that's a common one. Is there anything else common that you get asked that we already do? When it comes to design, anyways.
I would say the doors is a huge one. Another one is making sure that there's not a lot of hallways. A lot of people are trying to get away from that wasted space. Other ones are making sure that everything lines up and it's symmetrical. That's a big one that I'm seeing right now. When it's not symmetrical, especially on the outside, or even if you're in your bedroom and a window is slightly to the left or the right, customers just don't like that. So that's a big one that I'm seeing as well.
And that can be a challenge in a barn dominium, because without doing bump outs and they're spending extra money to get that one room that really needs to line up or do something different, trying to create that space is a challenge sometimes. So, well, I hope this helped with everybody, and once again, thank you, Nikki. And if you have any questions, hit us up. Be glad to answer any that you have.
Thank you.
See you soon.